Hello and welcome to this quick guide on how to use Zoom to host a meeting. My name is Sean Nickfist and I'll take you through some very quick basics. In the previous video, I demonstrated how to create a meeting. When you created a meeting, you were given a meeting ID and a join URL. If you have forgotten your URL or your meeting ID, you can quickly go to the ntnu.zoom.us website and choose meetings from the left-hand side once you log in. I suggest you logging into the system as opposed to going to guest or host or some other link. Once you've done this, you can then proceed to the next step. If you like to work from a mobile device, Zoom works really well on most mobile devices. Most of the time I'll run mine off an iPad and then I can work on other things at the same time on my laptop. So there's multiple ways you can use this, and it doesn't matter whether you're out and about or sitting at home. This software works really well in most places. On this slide here that you're seeing in front of you now, you can see where I've just copied the URL into the address bar at the top. By doing this and clicking enter, it will ask you to either install software or open software. If you've never used Zoom before, it will likely ask you to install some software. Follow the instructions for doing this. If you have used Zoom before or have the software pre-installed, just click to open the link. Remember that Zoom runs differently on each and every browser and every different operating system, so your screen may not look exactly like mine. I would go back to the PDF notes accompanying this video if you need to spend some time to look at this. If you want to start it from the browser, there's a link right down the bottom that you can click on, but there is some mixed successes with different browsers. Once you open up Zoom, you'll find that it'll ask you how you want to connect. In the beginning, in the previous video, I chose not to begin with video. I just said I would launch with audio to start with. Here it's asking how I want to use audio, and at this stage the only option is to use computer audio. When you have other devices plugged into your laptop or onto your mobile device, it will give you the option of choosing the different inputs and outputs. You can see down the bottom on the toolbar, the start video has a line through it, so I haven't started the video just yet. In this window here, once I've chosen to use the audio, you can see that the screen is fairly basic. There's no one else in the room here. I'm just setting up a meeting for testing practices. If there were other people already in the room, then I would see them listed down one side or across the screen. The easiest way to get started is to wait for your participants to come into the room, and then of course you can always start your video or mute. The settings are fairly straightforward for using Zoom. I would suggest that you have a play around and try these out. There's some really wonderful, easy to use tools here. I often have the chat open on the one side at the same time as I'm working with students. The other good thing about this is when you want to break your students out into different rooms to do tasks and come back to the main group, it's a very simple process. You can see this process here on this screen. You can see I've started my video. I'm hidden in the background behind this dialogue. And you can see I've also enabled a virtual background for my presentation. I like to use a virtual background most of the time because it distracts from objects that might be behind me when I'm in a meeting room or at home or something like that. So there's a lot of features here. As I said, one of the things I like here is breaking the students out into rooms. I automatically decide how many students I've got in the room, how many I want to a group, and then automatically break the students out. If you have trouble with using Zoom, I suggest finding a friend, giving them your link, and just mucking around and practicing with each of the features. There's quite a lot that you can do here, and the other benefit here is you can also record your session and distribute that if you need to at a later time. If you want more support, I've added the support link there in the video at the top. If you want to get to that easily, just go to the PDF document that accompanies this.